On our way to the Badlands and to Mount Rushmore, we had to stop at Drag, which is this huge tourist attraction in Wall, South Dakota. It's this huge store with all kinds of different eateries and cowboy stores and just interesting things to see. So let's go. Interesting stores in Mt.Rushmore, including a camping store and a cafe where they still sell 5-cent coffee with some other food items. It's just really neat. So that was some of the things that we saw in Waldreg, and now on to camping in the Badlands of South Dakota. If you don't know, the Badlands are these like gorges that have these beautiful views. You can camp for free next to some of the gorges just outside the national parks, and then in the national park you can see prairie dogs and buffalo and sometimes even goats. So these are some of the views alongside the road that we stopped at before choosing our camp spot for the night. The views are just amazing. You're allowed to camp in the free and dispersed camping spots for up to 14 nights in any 60-day period while in the Badlands. After a little bit of debate, this was a view that we chose to stop at for the night. It's so beautiful. Good morning, guys. It's early, but how can you not wake up in a good mood with a view like this? We drove down to see more of the wildlife in the park before we left the area. Guys, look at the prairie dogs. They're so cute. And bison. They're kind of like big puppies.
Oh my God, he's having a good time.
Yep. After leaving the Badlands, we continued our trek west until we made it to Mt.Rushmore and the Crazy Horse Monument. They're very close to each other. Both have RV parking available, and I just really recommend visiting both monuments if you can. We made it to Rushmore. We weren't able to get tickets for any of the tours because we procrastinated too long, but we're going to show you what we were able to get into. So even though we didn't pay for any tours, we did find once we got there that they give ranger talks throughout the day. There's a sign next to one of the information centers that lists the times and where you can meet for those talks. They have lots of interesting information. As much as I liked Rushmore, we also had to go visit Crazy Horse. If you don't know, Crazy Horse is a memorial that was commissioned by Henry Standing Bear, who is a Lakota elder. And it's built on, or it's being built on Lakota land. And just interesting to know is that no state or federal funds are being used or probably will ever be used for the project. It's still currently going on, like I said, but it's awesome to see. Crazy Horse has a pretty extensive museum filled with artifacts and history of the Native Americans that have inhabited our country. I couldn't get rid of the glare, but you can still see most of the model. While visiting Rushmore and Crazy Horse, we stayed in Keystone, which is just 17 to 22 miles away from the monuments. We enjoyed Keystone. It had some great food and cute shops full of curiosities and souvenirs. While visiting the area, we were able to catch a ride on what they call the 1880 train. Obviously, it's called that because of the time frame it was made from. It takes an hour to go from one stop to the other, but I think it's well worth the experience. It goes from Keystone to Hill City and back. So that was it. That was everything that we saw in South Dakota. We loved seeing the monuments. We definitely loved riding the 1880 train, and that 5-cent coffee is definitely a steal.